Hello. Hi, everyone. Hello, beautiful souls. I hope you're doing well. So I've decided to commit to doing these Neville Goddard transmissions and sharing the empowerment of how we are reality creators. And I've chosen this beautiful background because I just came back from an amazing trip in the Caribbean, as I've mentioned before. It wasn't the retreat that I had originally thought or planned out, although that's down further in my future. For what happened was just perfect because I personally needed more time to regenerate and to connect with my amazing business partner over there, Nancy, and the spa and other women. And we had some workshops there, and it was just perfect. I got a very nice balance of work and play and rest and activity. So I'm super, super recharged and happy to share more information about empowerment. This is more than empowerment, though. This is like mystical, deep, deep experiences that I've had, and using the discernment and the connection to offer the insights that are coming through. I'm extremely intuitive. I've been developing this for a long time now, and I've made choices along the path to be here in service and to be a guide, to be a coach, to be an teacher in these times of rapidly changing transformative energies, frequencies on Gaia and in our realities. So we get to choose, and the choice point is happening. The portal, is open for us to choose which reality, which frequency we want to actually live in. And, that's prophecy. And I've talked about this on my channel for many, many years since I started actually sharing embodied wisdom, the cosmic almanac, the space-time reality, because I am a messenger here, and and I love this information, and I think it will help you as well. So I will be starting to charge on my Patreon or membership, but for that to happen, we need to have a good group of people working together. I only want to make it like $1 a month or like a token so that there can be as many people as possible, but I need to also be in this reciprocity of energy to receive in exchange for what I offer. Because if I'm always volunteering and just giving, that is not sustainable. So I've learned that as I offer my services. I've been a volunteer most of my life, and yes, I'm taken care of, but as an entrepreneur and as a woman that has to find her way in this monetary reality, this is why I will be doing this. And in exchange, we will be working together towards major transformation, major empowerment, and Christ within activations. So manifestation is all about activation of that God self. So this is very controversial still today, because so many people are reading the Bible as if it is like a physical, real thing, and God is a father in the sky judging, and we're all sinners, and we're all going to go, to hell or to heaven, depending on, sorry, I'm having technical issues with the Zoom. Oh no, I hope this passes quickly. Okay, no glitches. Let's get rid of the glitches. Okay. So I have this other book here by Greg Braden, that because recently I had the Isaiah quotes from the Bible, because again, the Bible is coded, and this is what we are decoding here through Neville Goddard, but also through I just opened this up, and this is a prophecy that has popped up a lot. The Hopi prophecy of the future, the quantum future that we are now choosing, okay? The artificial timeline is going to create, or the people that are disconnected. So just to read quickly, the Hopi people are people of peace, and they are people who had visions about what will be coming, okay? These are indigenous, and I have also been with indigenous, the Shuar people in the Ecuadorian rainforest, who showed me that there's other ways of knowing reality through the dreamscape, through connecting through the dream world. So I did that when I was there. I wasn't able to do it again when I got back to my normal reality. But lucid dreaming and all of that is part of what we are developing now, along with other clairsentient, clairaudience, and other things that are activating in us, because we are remembering that we are eternal soul beings and we're here on a life adventure on a planet that is ascending. And so are we, if we so choose. Organic. So some of us did not drink the Kool-Aid. We knew what was going on, tried to warn people. It was very frustrating because, they put billions and billions, if not trillions of dollars into their propaganda. And some of us just weren't swayed at all by any of it. And we're choosing organic ascension. And that is very clear for me and perhaps for you as well. And if it wasn't clear then, hopefully it's gotten clearer and clearer day by day that we have been under authoritative, controlling figures that do not have our best interest in mind. Okay, I digress, leaving that aside. So these Hopi people, they say there's a Hopi prophecy rock that says that, I'm just going to go quickly. In the beginning, both paths are very similar. So there's two kinds of like realities. And the upper path, however, gradually turns into a broken zigzag that ends nowhere. So there's no future for these people. Those who choose this path are represented with their heads detached and they're hovering above their bodies. So they're disconnected, they're in their minds, but they're not grounded in their bodies, in their hearts. They will experience the great shift as a time of great confusion and chaos leading to destruction. So we can see that anybody that's in the war machine, they're feeling more and more lost, confused. They don't understand what's going on. And I send love, but everybody is making those soul choices. And there is a point where, it's bigger than all of us. It's the plan that is unfolding. And those choosing, yes, but the other path is a level line. It is strong and even. And those choosing this path live to very advanced ages and their crops grow well, strong, and healthy. 2/3 of the way along the path is a line connecting the two. Until this intersection point is reached, the Hopi say we may move freely back and forth exploring those two paths. Following this point in time, however, the choices are made and there is no return. In the words of quantum physics, this portion of the prophecy describes a choice point, an opportunity for humanity to experience the paths of both worlds and choose which is true for them. In the words of the prophecy, if we hold fast to the sacred way, as the Creator devised it for us, what we have gained we will never lose. But still, we have to choose between these two ways. Mother Nature tells us which is the right way. When earthquakes, floods, hailstones, droughts, famines will be the life of every day, the time will have then come for the return to the true path. So we can also know this as the rainbow warrior prophecy, right? People of all tribes and colors from all over the world are going to make these choices. It is not about one race being superior to another. We have already blended our races. I mean, white, red, brown, black, we are a mix. We are a human race. That's the only race that actually exists. And everything else is a construct that people believe to separate and divide us. The record-breaking extremes of nature witnessed in our world suggests to the Hopi that the time of purification is upon us, and the severity of our cleansing is determined as our individual responses to life challenges create the collective outcome. So yeah, we can see that these things are happening. What gets really interesting for us that are in this choice point and know it and quantum reality and organic ascension is that things were not clear for a long time. And, there was bad habits, shadow aspects of ourselves that we are here to clear, intergenerational trauma, belief systems, are all trapped in our DNA, basically, and bringing us into higher and higher awareness and gifts. And, and there's been teachers along the way, one of them being Neville Goddard, which is this focus that I'm on right now to share. And as I share, I'm also discovering, because it's quite recent. It's less than a year and a half or 2 years that I've discovered him, maybe a little more. But I didn't really get it until I started reading also Reverend Ike, who was, if you pick up his biography, this man is amazing. And he came from, 1950s, very poor Black man. In those times, there was a lot of segregation and racism and all that. And he comes from poverty, and his mother was extremely religious and against anything that represented wealth or money or any of that. So she was one of those religious people that, think that the material things are, gonna bring you to hell and all this and all these weird. But anyways, it's a mindset, right? And there's still people living in that today. The poverty consciousness, sense of unworthiness, all of this has to go, because first of all, our needs have to be met. We have to be healthy. We have to have, food and lodging and shower and clean clothes and self-love, self-care, all of that, integrity and feeling like, okay, a respectable member of society. I think that this is important for all of us. And I wish this for all of us. I pray for this for all of us all the time. But understanding that we are the ones in charge overall. Some start with more, some start with less, a lot less, a lot more. But ultimately, it's about this alignment with the spiritual self, with the soul self. Because as we know, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari is one of those books of, the thing is, yes, we need it to have our basic needs, but as we know, money doesn't buy happiness, and it doesn't buy freedom, and it doesn't buy, to a certain extent it does, but the freedom within ourselves to be connected to our soul is why we're here. So we'll always feel empty or not satisfied if we're not connected to the soul. So I will continue from yesterday. I'm going to share my screen. If I can remember how to do that on here. Oops. I think, yes, more. No, these are breakout rooms, whiteboards, recording. Okay. Share screen. Where does it say that? Okay, I'm in Zoom right now. Share. Oh no, I did it yesterday. Sorry. Apps. Share screen. Here we go. Okay, there it is. And we were on page 13. And I am as that reality to which whatever happens, we must turn for an explanation of the phenomena of life. It is I am's concept of itself that determines the form and scenery of its existence. Everything depends upon its attitude towards itself. That which it will not affirm as true of itself cannot awaken in its world. That is, your concept of yourself, such as I am strong, I am secure, I am loved, determines the world in which you live. So I just want to quickly note that in Kundalini Yoga, which I am an internationally certified teacher, I practiced for over 10 years regularly, and I continue to use some of this in breath work or pranayama and meditations and things like that, although it's not as much. We learned that the reprogramming through mantra. So for example, if you keep repeating something, there's one called I am beautiful, I am blissful, I am bountiful, I am beautiful, I am blissful, I am bountiful. And if you keep repeating that, you actually start to believe it. You look at yourself, you're like, wow, I'm beautiful, I'm bountiful, I'm blissful. And you feel it and you continue to amplify it. And this augments your magnetic field, your field of attraction, your field of you know, everything is drawn to you. And so when you have that, you realize that doors open, people want to help you. When you think you need something, it comes in. So this is what, you know, Bruce Lee calls the flow. And you know, all of us have been there, I'm sure, in certain times in our lives. Sometimes it shuts off because we're disconnected from our magnetism, our source. And other times people just haven't yet activated it, or they don't understand how it works. But once you do, that's when you're on that path of mastery, because you're mastering your feelings, your emotions, and your magnetic field that is connected to that. So I will continue. I am strong, I'm secure, I am loved, determines the world in which you live. In other words, when you say, I am a man, I am a father, I am an American, you're not defining different I ams. You are defining different concepts or arrangements of the one cause substance and the one I am. Even in the phenomena of nature, if the tree were articulate, it would say, I am a tree, I am an apple tree, a fruit tree. When you know that consciousness is the one and only reality, conceiving itself to be something good, bad, or indifferent, and becoming that which it conceived itself to be, you are free from the tyranny of second causes, free from the belief that there are causes outside of your own mind that can affect your life. In the state of consciousness of the individual is found the explanation of the phenomena of life. If man's concept of himself were different, everything in his world would be different. His concept of himself being what it is, everything in his world would be as it is. Thus, it is abundantly clear that there is only one I am, and you are that I am. And while I am is infinite, you, by your concept of yourself, are displaying only a limited aspect of the infinite I am. This is your individuality, what makes you, you. Build thee more stately mansions, O my soul, as the swift seasons roll. Leave thy low vaulted past. Let each new temple, nobler than the last, shut thee from heaven with a dome more vast, till thou at length art free, leaving thine outgrown shell by life's unresting sea. Oliver Wendell Holmes, Sr. I love this poetry. Chapter 2, Consciousness. It is only by a change of consciousness, by actually changing your concept of yourself, that you can build more stately mansions. The manifestations of higher and higher concepts, by manifesting, is meant experiencing the results of these concepts in your world. It is of vital importance to understand clearly just what consciousness is. The reason lies in the fact that consciousness is the one and only reality. It is the first and only cause substance of the phenomena of life. Nothing has existence for man save through the consciousness he has of it. Therefore, it is to consciousness that you must turn, for it is the only foundation on which the phenomena of life can be explained. If we accept the idea of a first cause, it follows that the evolution of that cause could never result in anything foreign to itself. That is, if the first cause substance is light, all its evolutions, fruits, and manifestations would remain light. The first cause substance being consciousness, all its evolutions, fruits, and phenomena must remain consciousness. All that could be observed would be a higher or lower form of a variation of the same thing. In other words, if your consciousness is the only reality, it must also be the only substance. Consequently, what appears to you as circumstances, conditions, and even material objects are really only the products of your own consciousness. Nature then, as a thing or a complex of things external to your mind, must be rejected. You and your environment cannot be regarded as existing separately. You and your world are one. Therefore, you must turn from the objective appearance of things to the subjective center of things, which is your consciousness. If you truly desire to know the cause of the phenomena of life and how to use this knowledge to realize your fondest dreams. In the midst of the apparent contradictions, antagonisms, and contrasts of your life, there is only one principle at work, only your consciousness operating. Difference does not consist in variety of substance, but in variety of arrangement of the same cause substance, your consciousness. The world moves with motiveless necessity. By this is meant that it has no motive of its own, but is under the necessity of manifesting your concept. The arrangement of your mind, and your mind is always arranged in the image of all you believe and consent to as true. So this is again, your lens of perception. How you see reality is how reality is reflected back to you. As Einstein also said, the most important decision you make is if the world is a friendly place or enemy. If you have enemies or friends, like that will determine how you see reality. And, if you see good God in all, then you see your life as a beautiful, good God created reality, right? So the rich man, poor man, beggar man, or thief are not different minds, but different arrangements of the same mind. In the same sense that a piece of steel, when magnetized, differs not in substance from its demagnetized state, but in the arrangement and order of its molecules. A single electron revolving in a specific orbit constitutes the unit of magnetism. When a piece of steel or anything else is demagnetized, the revolving electrons have not stopped. Therefore, the magnetism has not gone out of existence. There is only a rearrangement of the particles so that they produce no outside or perceptible effect. So again, I just want to bring this back to what I said before about your own magnetic field. So it's always there. It's like electricity. You need to plug something in to realize that it's working and it's activating something else. Magnetism is the same. If you are not magnetized, like charging your phone, charging yourself, magnetizing yourself into positive belief systems, into knowing that you have this power, activating it. And you can do, like I said, different kriyas, which are yoga recipes that you can use to activate your magnetism. Number one is your mind, what you believe, you achieve, how you think. We can reprogram so much more than we were ever taught. And this is what, for me, is the most fascinating thing as I'm learning to, for example, age backwards. People are telling me I'm looking younger and better than ever, and I just turned 50, and I know that that's happening. And because I see it and I believe it. And even I believe it before I see it. I believed it because I started to understand the science behind it. So my mind needs to be fed with this type of information because I want to understand reality creation. I want to understand how blueprints are formed in this reality. How do you morph things? How do you bend reality? How do you manifest your highest timeline, your reality? Because honestly, I don't want to suffer anymore. And I don't want to have to live in limiting realities anymore and self-sabotage. And because I've done that over and over again through so many ways that I've done that. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be, first of all, in love with myself and the fact that I'm such a beautiful, unique essence of the divine, of God, of creator, and activating this creator being inside of me is the most exciting thing of my life. And as I do this, I'm also healing the 7 generations of family distortions and old blueprints that were morphed into dystopia, into disharmony, dis-ease. And it was right there in my own mother, you know. She just didn't love herself, and she was never really, I mean, I can't say never, but not happy with her reality and her life. And and that's a very painful existence. And the self-fulfilling prophecy is real. What you believe you will achieve, even if it's the worst thing. For example, she never thought she would make it to 60 years old. Her mother was 59 when she died, and she said, I just can't see myself being older than that. And so, she died a month before her 60th birthday. So that's one self-fulfilling prophecy. And there's so many, so many. This is why becoming your own, it's not even becoming, we already are creators, but it's knowing it, activating it, understanding it, applying it, being the living example. So as I create abundance and beauty and a creative lifestyle that I love, I'm in love with, I can radiate that and share that with others that also want to do that. And I think most of us do, right? And others will, they'll show, oh, who does she think she is? And she's a narcissist, and she's so full of herself, and blah, 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 whatever. That will be projected. But the thing is, it bounces right back, because there's a point where like, that doesn't affect me, and I'm not going to be disempowered by anybody's projections or any of that anymore. I just can't afford to do that. So again, it's a take it or leave it situation. The world is vast, and people offer their own medicine to the world, their own gifts. And that's why we resonate with some and not with others. And we're all here to bring, hopefully, like I said, some are here on another path that has nothing to do with my own. And I'm not going to bother with that, because, or those people, or how they think, or the war, or the old paradigm, because it is not my timeline. It is not my future reality. It's not where my soul is going. And I know that I'm empowering myself, and as I do that, I'm empowering you as well. And there is no division. So I love myself, I love you. This is the it's the love generation, the love solution that we are embodying, and it is a choice, of course. So we're at page 20 of 182, and I'm going to stop it here for today. I'm going to stop the share and say hasta mañana. See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Take care.